Shalom to the elect. I want to start by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh is the one the world ignorantly calls God. Yah means He. Hawa means to be or exist. So Yahweh's name means He is, or He to be, or He exists. All right. Bahashem means in the name. Ba meaning in. Ha meaning the, and Shem meaning name. Right, and Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Messiah. Yahweh Shai is the one the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Yah means He. Yahweh Shai means save or deliver. So Yahweh Shai's name means He is the Savior or He is the Deliverer. Bahashem, once again, meaning in the name, and Rachak Quadash, meaning Holy Spirit. Rachal meaning Spirit, and Quadash meaning Holy. So I said all the praises, honor, and glory belongs to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, and in the name of the Holy Spirit. And Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are not so-called white men; they're so-called black men. All right. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone at Ruel. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. All right. And, this lesson comes from, the fact that, because at camp, recently this past camp, May 18th, 2024, this Christian pastor came up to the camp, but, he wasn't in an argumentative, combative spirit. He said he was still learning. A Jake, he was a Jake. He was an Israelite man, So he came up to the camp and he asked questions. He was inquiring and things, and brothers told him, let him know some things, right? But one of the questions that he came to the camp was, because he heard the brother talk about America, or say America pretty much is Babylon the Great. Brother had said America is Babylon the Great. Okay, and so he had pretty much asked something along the lines of, how do you know that America is Babylon the Great? Not, he wasn't being combative. He was actually trying to learn and understand, But Lord willing, he comes out of Christianity and repents, man. All right, but, he was asking how is America Babylon the Great? Brothers were going into it. Brothers were giving him scriptures and telling him different things. Okay, but Salakia. All right, but where this light just came from? Salakia. All right, but pretty much, yeah, man. Brothers had were giving him scriptures and everything. All right, but I just wanted to do a lesson going in Revelation the 17th chapter, man, because Revelation the 17th chapter, it also really goes in on telling you how America is indeed Babylon the Great. So, I'm going to just go through it. This is book of Revelation, the 17th chapter. And by the way, this also helps, me as well with, because repetition is key to remembrance. I believe Apostle Gabar said repetition is the key or father of remembrance. So Revelation, the 17th chapter, starting at verse 1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Right? So, so pretty much the angel is coming to show John the Revelator, all right, which is also Apostle John, one of Yahweh Shai's 12 disciples. All right, he was going to show, he was about to show the Apostle John, all right, the coming judgment of America. All right. Bear me just 1 second here. Let me just Salakia. Just, I want to see anything off. All right. And it said of the great whore. And the great whore, you jump down to the 15th verse. Salakia, the 18th verse. Yeah, that's America. All right. Straight, point blank, period. All right. Then it says that sitteth upon many waters. And those many waters in verse 5, Revelation the 17th chapter, 15th verse. You jump down to verse 15. It says, And he saith unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes of nations and tongues. All right. Because America, all right, is also known as the Great Melting Pot. You got all types of people from different cultures over here in the land of America. All right, so that's why it says the whore that sitteth upon many waters. All right, America, that many waters once again being the what? Let me get it again. Being the peoples, multitudes, and nations and tongues, because America is known as the great melting pot. All right. You look around, man. You see Arabs, so-called Africans, all right, Chinese, etc. Man, you see all these people over here in America. You see the Israelites here, so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Americans here. You see Elamites, so-called East Indians. All right, shit. Even Japhet people. But continuing on, verse 2. So Revelation 17:2, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. All right. And I'm believing brothers breaking it down. All right. It's going into America, and it's import. All right. Okay. Just like a whore, takes in a rod. All right. America, all right, it imports or takes in or imports goods from these other nations around the world. All right. I believe America might be the biggest importer in the world. Let me just check the notes, because I have these things written down. All right. Yeah. When the notes I had said that America is the biggest importer in the world. All right. It says that the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Right. Because the around the world, man. Okay. It's pretty much these different nations around, or pretty much America pushes its ways on these other nations around the world. Like you got this LGBTQ agenda being pushed. It was pushed on them Hamites out there in Uganda, or people out there in Uganda. All right, and not only that, but you see these top leaders with all suits on and everything. Okay, you see the women in certain Arab countries, they don't wear the hijab anymore, etc. Man. All right. These nations take on the way of America, and when you look up that word drunk, all right, you look at that word drunk, and it Salakia, look at that word drunk, and it goes into it's a lot, man. You look at the word drunk, all right, in the letter Bible, and you look it up. It goes into intoxication or intoxicated or intoxicate. Look up either one of those words, but it goes into meaning under the influence. Okay, and these nations around the world are under the influence of America. All right, so Revelation 17:3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. All right, and that scarlet color, which you look it up, is red, and that represents Esau Edom, man. Genesis 25:25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. All right, you look at the color scarlet, it's red, man. All right. It says, full of names of blasphemy, and that lets you know that Esau is heading this beast. All right. It says, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay? And Salaki, those 7 heads is this beast is NATO and the EU. With NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And the EU, which started out as a 10 common markets, and then evolved into the European Economic Community, and then later on the EU, which is short for European Union. Okay? And initially, the EU started out with just 10 nations, I believe. All right? And I believe the apostles went into it the apostles had went into pretty much how the different flagpoles had came up, and it was, ultimately it was like 10 at first. 10, some had come up later, but, 10. It started out with 10, all right? It originally had 10 members, but those 7 heads, all right, is Germania Major, Germania Minor, the Romans, all right, the French, the Spanish, the Greeks, and the British. Okay, these are the 7 heads. Okay, and those 10 horns is West Germany, Belgium, France, Greece, Denmark, Luxembourg, Spain and Portugal, Italy, Netherlands, England, and Ireland. All right. When I said Spain and Portugal, England, and Ireland, you count that as one. You could count Spain and Portugal as one, and England and Ireland as one as well. All right. verse 4. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple, all right, which, Salakia, I gotta check my note again. Man, this phone is annoying, man. All right. And the woman, once again, is America, and purple represents rulership. And America, you know, has supreme rulership on the earth currently. All right. It says, was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, all right, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand. And that's talking about the wine the nations are drinking of, you know, which was mentioned in verse 2. All right. Full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Okay. All right. And then verse 5, it says, and upon her, this woman, aka America, upon her head, or upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great. America is Babylon the Great. See? This, if you have the true proper understanding of this, all right, it tells you right here, America is Babylon the Great. That's America. Okay? Babylon the Great. The mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Okay? Verse 6, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. All right, and then who's the saints? The Israelites. Psalms 148 and 14. All right, says with, you know, and hey, let me get a precept. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 21. I beheld, in the same horn made war against the saints and prevailed against them. All right, so, you know, what, you know, when the so-called white man came over here, you know, and started taking down the so-called Native Americans, you know, the Latin tribes, all of that, man. All right. Okay. You know, the conquistadors as well, you know, and also for the Southern Kingdom, you know, slavery, you know. So this is America. This land is soaked in blood. All right. It says, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai, all right, because we are going to be martyrs, all right, you know. Let me get that. Revelation 20, well, you could read Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4 tells you about it. All right, it says, and when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration, all right. You know, and today you have technology that they didn't have back in the ancient world, all right. And the Apostle John saw this and he was amazed at these things, all right. You know, and there's also people today who look at America with great admiration, man. You know. You know, they look at this country thinking that it's just the best thing on the earth. You know, they don't want to be nowhere else but here. That's the thing. You come here and you find out it's nothing but shit. It's a piece of shit ass country. All right, because America is horrible, and I'm speaking facts, man. All right, gas prices are going up. The damn president, you know, making all these dumbass decisions in legislation. You know, how the fuck do you have a country where you know, you just allow all types of immigrants just to come in, you know? You have a president who falling off a bike, you know, sending all these billions of dollars in other countries like Ukraine and aid, but the very people here are suffering, okay? You know, barely making ends meet. All right, this place is trash, man. All right, it's not what it used to be. All right, my humble advice, man. You in them other countries looking at America, stay where you at. Don't come here. Do not. All right. It's not all what it looks like with Hollywood. Weird. Even Hollywood, man. Come on, man. All right, but verse 7, and the angel said unto me, wherefore, Salakia, Revelation chapter 17 and 7, and the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. All right. So now the angel's about to explain to the Apostle John, you know, what he saw. Okay. You know, in verses, 1 through 6. So Revelation 17 and 8. The beast that thou sawest and is not, and shall ascend, Salakia, the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. All right, and the beast that thou sawest was and is not. All right, Salaki, you just gotta, check my notes sometimes. The beast that thou sawest was the Roman Empire and is not, because the Roman Empire fell and America continues the customs of the Roman Empire. All right. It says, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. And the bottomless pit is Europe, okay? And why is Europe called the bottomless pit? Because Europe, all right, that land is lacking in nutrients and you can't really, that land is infertile pretty much, Salakia. At that land, like a brother said, pretty much no matter how far, like a brother was, explaining one thing he said was no matter how far down you dig deep into the earth over there in Europe, you're not gonna find that nutrient rich soil, Salakia. Yeah, Europe is called the bottomless pit because of its lack of resources. Okay, that's why it's called the bottomless pit. All right. So it says, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. All right. So America, what? It can't. What? So the bottomless pit is Europe. What's in Europe? Britain. What came out of Britain? America. Okay, this is America, man. And this was written thousands of years before it even took place. So this is prophecy. That whole thing of the founding fathers and all of that, them leaving and coming over here, that was prophecy. So when these damn devils, the so-called white man, when they said something about manifest destiny, in a sense they were right. Manifest destiny was the fact that they believed that they felt that it was divinely appointed for them to dwell in this land of North America. They felt it was divinely set for them to dwell here. And I mean, they had a right to a certain extent because we're reading it. It's prophecy. The beast that was and is not and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. Now we have America. All right. It says, and go into perdition. All right. And perdition means destruction when you look it up. So America will go into destruction, which will be via the intercontinental ballistic missiles, all right, the nuclear missiles. It says, and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not, and yet is. Okay? So those who aren't a part of the elect are going to get caught up in the allure of America, pretty much. All right? Verse 9, and here is the mind that has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, which it says on which the woman sitteth. All right, and the 7 heads are 7 mountains. The mountains represent governments. Why? Because when you have these leaders, right, and they have something called summit meetings. Okay, and now when you look at a mountain, what's the top part of a mountain? A summit. Okay, so mountains represent governments, man. All right, so it says the 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. Okay. So these mountains represent these different Edomite nations, man. All right, it says and on which the women sit is because America sits upon NATO and the EU. All right, verse 10. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen. All right. Let me see. 5 that are fallen are the Germania Major, Germania Minor, the French, the Spanish, the Greeks. Okay, that all they fell, and one is because there's a time the Apostle John had wrote this vision, the Roman Empire was ruling, right? And the other has not yet come, right? The British Empire had not yet come, okay? And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. The British Empire will trickle down into America. This is prophecy, okay? It's pointing to America, okay? Verse 11, and the beast that was and is not, all right, the beast that was and is not, which is Rome, all right, but Rome is coming back. It says, the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th. It said, so the beast that was and is not is Rome, but Rome is coming back as the 8th, which is America, okay? It says, and it's of the 7, because America came of the other 7, but it came directly from that 7th nation, which is Britain, all right, because remember, those 7 heads being what? Germania Major, Germania Minor, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, the Greeks, and the British. Okay? But America, all right, it came directly from that seventh nation, which is Britain. All right, you know, the British, Britain, same thing. All right, it says, and there's other seven, and goeth into perdition, because America's going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles. Right, verse 12. Right, so it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings. And this is these 10 horns once again are the European Union. All right, the EU, which have received no kingdom as yet. Okay. It says, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Verse 13, these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Okay. So these have one mind, meaning they're in agreement with each other. All right. And they shall give, it says, it shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So the EU are going to, nations, they're going to give their power and strength to the NATO. So if a NATO country goes to war, all of them going to go to war. All right. That's how this is set up. Right. Verse 14. These shall make war with the Lamb. Who was the Lamb? Let's get a precept. This is the book of St. John. St. John chapter 1 and verse 29. And it says, the next day John seeth Yahushua coming unto him, and saith, behold, the Lamb of Yahweh. See, the Lamb of Yahweh, which taketh away the sin of the world. See? So the Lamb is Yahushua. So Revelation 17 and 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall, and you can read about this, what, in Revelation 12 and 7, 2nd Ezra 13, verses 1 through 11. All right? It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. See? Verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Okay? Because America is that great melting pot. Verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. All right? So the 10 horns, the EU, all right, the nations, it says, these shall hate the whore. Right? So there's something America's going to do to make these European nations, you know, these EU nations angry at America and shoot missiles on America, right? It says it shall make her desolate. You know, the beast is going to make the whore, America, desolate through those ICBMs. And that word desolate, Strong's G 2049, to make desolate and lay waste. All right? You guys, Isaiah, you can look these precepts up. Isaiah chapter 13, verses 9 and verses 19 through 22. All right? Also, Joel 2 also talks about America being desolate. And nuclear missiles is what's going to do that job. All right? It says, and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right? Via them nuclear missiles. All right? Verse 17, for Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will. So that proves, so it said to fulfill his will. The Lord hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will. The Lord wants America destroyed. All right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. And the word heart in the Hebrew is the Hebrew word lab, all right, which means mind. All right, so the king's mind is in the hand of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. So the minds of the rulers of these different nations, the Lord controls their minds. He controls everybody's mind, man. All right, but the Lord controls their mind. It says, as rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. The Lord is in control of their mind, man. And the Lord gonna make these nations shoot nuclear missiles on America. So there is no getting out of it. This is prophecy. The way the world moves is according to the prophecy of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right? According to the Bible, man. All right? Old Testament, New Testament, Old Testament, Apocrypha, New Testament. All right? Well, Revelation 17 and 18. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And that is America. All right? But that chapter alone shows you that Babylon the Great is America, man. So I wanted to go through that. Lord willing, was edifying. I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, every well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the elect. Shalom to the elect.